Hello, everybody, welcome to part 3.
If you only knew I jumped.
Episode
But you don't
57
know. You don't know.
of everybody's favorite
Countdown.
And let's get started
Exactly.
with 10 wrestling trends that need to make a comeback.
Maybe Global Force will make it happen.
I can see it happening.
I can see it happening too, because they want to be an alternative. This is the way you do it. This right here, this paper. If you zoomed in, you'd be able to see it, wouldn't you? I'm moving it around. He pushed the button.
You forgot to push the button?
If you watched part 2, you would know that we forgot to push the button, and now we remember to push the button. Ladies and gentlemen, these 10 right here, Global Force, if TNA wants to be different, if Ring of Honor wants to be an alternative, if House of Hardcore wants to be an alternative, this is how you do it.
Amen, brother. Preach, brother, preach.
I'm preaching,
Brother,
brother.
brother.
Preaching.
Number 10, wrestlers who can talk have managers. Hallelujah, yes.
Lost art. Bring it back.
And some people who can't wrestle be a manager. But
AJ
no.
Dillon was a wrestler. Bobby Heenan was a wrestler. They couldn't wrestle anymore. They became managers. Arnold Skolin was a
We
wrestler.
need managers.
Freddie Blassie was a manager. Mr. Fuji was a wrestler. They became managers.
Yes. We need managers. I mean, you work so many storylines with managers. They screw you over. They screw you over and have their man win. You have a title shot. Nope, you don't get your title because of a manager cost you.
You can also do the whole thing where they keep costing you. They keep costing you. They keep costing you. They keep costing you. And then you beat their guy, and you get 5 minutes alone with the manager.
After trying to get your hands on them, you try,
Yes,
and they get away.
For weeks. You can even try it backstage. Where they're standing there backstage, and you're creeping up on them, and they move out of the way, and they get out of the way. And you can't get to them. There you go. 5 minutes for you to make that man a whooping boy.
Oh yeah.
Storyline writes itself.
More managers. Need more managers. Need more managers. How many times do we have to say here at Top Row Rally? We need more managers.
Should put that up on the screen. Managers, managers, managers. May not happen. So
Number
I just look like a
9.
fool, but it's okay.
That's all right. That's pretty much even.
I mean, it usually happens, right? Exactly. Number 9. Less camera angle changes.
Yes. For goodness sake.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, now we've put a small camera in the ring post.
Weird.
Why? We shake the camera when people are kicking or punching somebody else.
What?
Why? Let's have the hard side camera and a few on the apron.
Right.
And that's it.
Right.
And this crap would jump into the crowd for some reason. Sometimes you're like,
Right.
why?
That's the whole point of the hard camera side, because you can see the audience.
Until they interrupt. I mean, somebody who dresses like a character and
can't
throws
do
the whole
that.
match off. I know.
So distracted for Kevin Dunn. Maybe he needs to get some ADD or ADHD medication so he can focus.
Number 8. Where is this lost art gone?
Yes.
Pre-debut hype videos.
Do you remember Crime Time?
Do you remember Razor Ramon?
Do you remember the Highlanders?
Do you remember Men on the Mission?
I'm gonna see one of them May the 15th.
Do you remember Dean Douglas? I'll even go with Dean Douglas.
Dean Douglas. On the board.
It needs to be done. Show these people. Introduce these people to your audience before they debut on TV and wrestle a match.
That means you already have an established connection with those characters.
You know if they're face, you know if they're heels.
Exactly.
You will know
By
them.
the way they
You will
talk.
know their name. You will know what they do.
Exactly.
They will tell you. They'll tell you where they're
Here's
from.
the perfect
They'll
one.
show you their name.
The perfect one.
Mr.
Perfect! How many times did we see the basketball, the football, bowling,
Bowling.
every sport you could think of, and he did it perfectly. And then he came to wrestling, and he did it perfectly.
And it needs to be brought back. It needs to be done.
Here's another one I liked, and it kind of goes along with the hype videos. I'll throw this one in there because it's not part of the 10. How about this? When you didn't have to have Renee Young going, well, how do you feel about this situation? And then you talk
That's
to
a terrible Renee Young.
It
You need
is.
to work on your Renee Young.
I'm not trying to do a Renee Young. I'm just saying the Todd Grishams, everybody. It's Todd Pettengill. Everybody looks like Todd Pettengill since Todd Pettengill. Sean Mooney. I mean, they all look alike. But anyway, it's weird.
Not Sean Mooney.
Sean Mooney. Okay, all these guys. Okay, what happened?
Good old Mean Gene's jock.
That's true. None of them could. That's why they all kept getting fired. Mean Gene's still getting paid by the WWE right now. I'm just saying.
And
But
with his fat hand.
that's right. That arm really freaks me out. I don't understand what's happening. Please, someone address the elephant. I mean, the fat arm in the room. The trunk in the room. Hate mail's coming to me. But what I'm trying to say here is this.
Yes.
Instead of having the whole, hey, what's going on? They used to have the green screen behind you.
Oh, yeah.
And their emblem would be on the green screen.
Their logo.
And I know, you know, it's gone past that. You don't have to have that. I get it. Whatever. That's great. It's called a pre-tape. What happened to the pre-tape? They used to have them up in the corner as they come to the ring.
They did them during the King of the Ring tournament.
Really?
They did. But it was black. It was all black behind them and everything.
Right.
But they did do
But
that. And I
every
did
now
like
and
it.
then they'll show those. But,
Yes.
But what happened to the, like when the Royal Rumble would come around, they would show them constantly. They would show them just the full screen would be them talking. Oh, I don't care what number I am. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. I'm going to roar somebody. You know, it was just a random promo, but you got to see all your favorite wrestlers and some of the ones you didn't like, and they just got to talk. So I almost gave it away. But, not going to talk about that, but yet, they got to sit there and just do their thing.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to do this whole, you know, well, tell me what you think. They would just tell you, I'm Mr. Perfect, and this is what's going to happen. All this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way I liked when they did it back then.
Oh, yeah. I loved it.
And I'm fine
That's
with
why it
the
needs to make a comeback.
I'm fine with them doing things a certain way now, but it's called you mix it up with the old way of people, like the way they liked it back then. You mix it together. A blend of the best things. That's the way you
I mean,
do
you
it.
got Superstars and Main Event you could do that on
Yeah.
as test runs.
We can't watch main event anymore, but whatever.
But what we get replays of Raw and SmackDown.
Yes.
That's what we watch Raw and SmackDown for. Hey,
Exactly.
why watch Raw and SmackDown? You can get the replays if you watch SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
You get Raw. Yes, you will get Raw and SmackDown
On Summer-
reviews on SummerSlam. Yes, on Superstars or Main Event. So,
That's true. I mean, make those standalone shows. I mean, why do we have to? We already know the ratings are in Raw and SmackDown, so let's make Superstars about Superstars.
Yeah.
Because we already know they're not going to get a big rating.
No.
So let them just do their thing on there.
And for an hour, you get 2 matches an hour. 2 matches.
It's sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's just a bunch of highlight videos.
But we're going off. Number 7, we need to bring back War Games.
War Games. Vince is
And
going to
I'm
say that's a WCW idea.
Don't care.
Can't do it.
Hey, maybe you'll get some WCW fans to watch your product. How about that?
That's true.
How about you get some WCW fans to buy the network? Or join up for free when you have a free month. I mean, you got to cater to your fans and the old fans who don't like you because you killed the company they loved.
That's true. I was more of a WCW
Oh,
guy.
that takes up space in the arena for tickets. Well, you start screwing over people, you don't have a lot of space.
That's true.
Ask TNA. They could have done a 4-ring War Games or Bound for Glory because they had hardly nobody in the arena.
That's true.
So,
Number 6. This is something that went away because WCW went live every week, and it was high caliber matches every week. So the WWE said, we got to do this. We have to do it every week.
oh yeah.
They got rid of squash matches. We can still have squash. They do it with like every now and then when a certain wrestler debuts. They did it with Ryback. You know. And
But
And when Mark Henry shows back up, they do it with him sometimes. But
what I don't understand, I know you're trying to spread the wealth a little bit.
right,
And you're in California, you're in whatever, Florida, you're here, you're there.
right.
Why bring in locals? I'm sorry, locals, but I've got people in Orlando. If I'm paying them already.
Right.
They need to be their ass and where we're at so they can get squashed. And
Not the ones on NXT.
Not the ones on NXT.
The ones that are still training.
Yes.
But that are good enough to at least be in there and be safe.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or some of the ones that are in NXT. The bald-headed Louis, whatever his name is, can't remember who he is. You know, let him get
Marcus
squashed.
Louis.
Marcus Louis, yeah. Some of these other people, these tag teams that are on 1 week, they're on name on TV, there's some house shows. Let them come and get squashed.
Right. Exactly. Like those collegiate guys.
I mean, you can even mention they're on NXT.
Right.
They can still get squashed.
They could get squashed.
So.
Yeah, I mean, squash matches would be a great thing. I think it would help those characters because they would not have to wrestle such high caliber matches every week, and it wouldn't get tiring watching. Oh, it's Dolph Ziggler versus Bad News Barrett again for the 12th week in a row. So change it up a little bit. Have squash matches. And then you can, at the end of the squash match, you can have a promo between the two of them, or you can have one of them stand out there, watch them, or one of them on commentary while they're doing a squash match. Things of that nature. You still keep it going, but they ain't got to face each other.
Because, hey, they'll face each other 2 weeks out of the 4, and then they'll face each other on the pay-per-view. We done saw this match already, twice already. Why are we watching on the pay-per-view the same match we just saw on Raw? And sometimes why are we watching on pay-per-view the match we just saw on Monday?
Yep.
No, you cause trouble. Hey, how about giving some squash guy a push? Because you cost the other guy the match. He got beat by some nobody who he can destroy after he gets beat. But he still goes down the record books as the squash guy who was supposed to get destroyed picks up a win over you.
That's what happened with Colin Delaney. That's how he got his push.
Yeah.
Santino got his push off of being a squash guy. There's ways to do things.
Oh, yes.
There's ways to add more of this stuff in here. And then number 5, they've done it with the general manager, but back in the day, after the president thing with Jack Tunney and Gorilla Monsoon, then you had your Commissioner Regal. You had not only Commissioner Regal, but you had Commissioner Foley, which was a great commissioner. You had different characters like that. Why not have the idea of the commissioner come back?
I know.
The GM thing is kind of tiring.
It is. The authority's running its course.
It is running its course, yes. We're probably going to get it all the way till WrestleMania when The Rock beats Triple H.
Let's go with a good guy authority figure for a while.
I know.
One who puts the bad guys in bad predicaments.
Right.
Let's change it up a little bit. You know, we got 3 hours here, which, oh my Lord, needs to be 2.
It does.
I love Raw, but you can squash it down and probably make it better. So we have so much backstage stuff and everything
So
else.
much repeat stuff, yes.
Yes. Number 4, original Survivor Series.
The original concept.
I have always loved the tag team matches. And you have enough people.
Yep.
I mean, it's
all
not
them
like...
women.
And that gives you a pay-per-view where the titles do not have to be defended.
Yep.
But say somebody on one team beats a champion on the other team.
Yep.
Hey, I beat him at Survivor Series. I should be in line for a championship match now.
Yes.
I mean, at worst, you have enough divas. NXT, for God's sakes, you bring them up for NXT. That fills in your brackets, but you'll have enough people on the roster.
You could have a, for your dark match, you could do one. You could do NXT versus NXT guys, the lower level guys on your dark match. You could have the divas facing off, the ones on TV, the actual divas, not the NXT women. But you have all the divas in a big match. You have 3 tag teams versus 3 other tag teams. Or
well, if on the divas, if they're both good, you could have the divas champion and the NXT women's champion on the same team.
Right. Or you
against her challengers.
Right. Or you could have the Divas champion who's a heel, have her heel people versus the NXT women's champion and her face people who would be, mainly people off of the actual
And if you want to build that up, have them go down before it starts and attack her. There you go. And then after weeks, you can have somebody announce somebody on NXT. Who's on my team?
Right.
Yes, they on Raw and SmackDown announce, hey, who's on my team?
So right now you have a dark match with just the lower level NXT.
Lower level, yeah.
You have your women's. You have your tag teams, whatever, in one. Then you have WWE versus WWE, and then your main event one could be WWE versus NXT. There you go.
It works.
I've gotten 5 right there, and with the elimination, they're going to be longer, so you're
Yeah.
not going to have 10, 20 of them. I mean, my gosh.
Nope.
So you're going to have longer matches because of the elimination, so you could do 5 right there. Oh my gosh. It's not hard.
It is not hard.
Not hard at all.
Not hard at all. I mean, I don't understand why they went away from it.
Right.
Oh, we'll give you 1 or 2 special ones. No. And you really don't build up to those.
Right.
I mean, I'd rather see the world champion be in a tag match, in a Survivor Series original tag concept match
Exactly.
instead of being defending the title.
Yep. And then number 3, we have the classic heel announcers, the Bobby Heenans.
Everybody
The
is
Jerry
for everybody.
Lawler.
I've
Yes.
heard on Raw, I heard the announcers switch. You're switching during the show. You're switching.
JBL always, he sometimes goes for the heels, but then when the Ascension first came on the show, he was like, I hate this.
I know.
But yet you're for the heels.
If they're promoting, they're better than the Road Warriors and Demolition. If you're a heel announcer, hell yes, you go. Yeah, they are. They could destroy the Road Warriors and Demolition.
Right.
That's what you do. But then I hate it. And then Bo Dallas. Oh, he believes. No.
Right.
Or Seth. Oh, we're the authority.
Right.
Yeah, we're 100%. But then you crap on a heel tag team or a heel wrestler. You're like, no, you need to be one and stay that way. We can't be all, well, it's just a wonderful day in WWE.
Right.
It's terrible. Number 2, King of the Ring as a stand-alone pay-per-view.
Exactly.
Yes. And let's have qualifying matches.
Yep.
Let's have more than 8 superstars, and let's have faces versus faces and heels versus heels. Because I did like the return of the King of the Ring, but after the first couple of matches, it was so predictable then.
Right.
Oh, well, this heel won. Oh, I wonder who's going to win against. Oh, a face won, so heel and face again.
Right.
And then heel and face, and then heel and
It's
face.
supposed to be unpredictable.
Not unpredictable.
It's supposed to be.
Supposed to be. But when you get one heel win, you're thinking, oh, who's going to win the next? Oh, a face won. Wow, so we get heel and face.
Right.
So, yeah, it needs to be a standalone. It needs to be built up the month leading to the pay-per-view, qualifying matches on Raw and SmackDown, main event, superstars. Build it up.
Right.
And
I mean, even if it's not, like a standalone pay-per-view, you do that as almost like a like NXT special. You don't have to, because you got the network.
you've got the network.
So you can make it a network exclusive thing to where you don't have to put it on pay-per-view as well, because
You don't have to.
they do it on pay-per-view now still. They still have
Yes.
pay-per-view and
Yes.
network. It can be a network exclusive thing, not just here's the semifinals and the finals, and we're done.
Hey, and if you want to go like you did Raw and the network,
Right.
make it a 2-night. They don't. We don't want to film.
Right.
Hate the film. Hate the. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Exactly. I mean, even then, you could film them. Okay, make it different. Do you remember the old Coliseum videos?
Yes.
You know what those were? Those were the live events.
That's what the live event show.
It wasn't big shows or whatever.
No.
They just made up a theme for it.
We took this match. Oh, we'll take this match. Or we'll take that.
Exactly. They could do the same thing for like the King of the Ring. Oh, we don't want to film, but they could take one camera or two and take them on the live events and film the matches there and make those the qualifying and things of that nature. Because, they're still wrestling. Hello.
I mean, you have some on Raw, have some on SmackDown, have some on house shows.
It doesn't have to be, oh, well, there's no fancy entrance. We can't do that.
It would work.
It doesn't matter about the fancy entrance. You can even throw it in there, and have them get them introduced or whatever. And you have people like Michael Cole has an at-home studio where he does voiceover at home. So he could do the voiceovers with those. They could just ship them off to him, send them to him. He does the voiceovers, and he's like, "Hey, we're here live at one of the WWE live events, blah blah blah." And
We have 2 qualifiers
Right.
for the King of the Ring.
and they don't even
tournament.
have to show the entrance.
No.
It'd just be straight into the match.
We have
Woo-hoo.
Bad News Barrett taking on Neville in
Right.
one match, and Dean Ambrose taking on Luke Harper in another
Right.
one, or John Cena and Rusev.
Exactly.
It's a qualifying match and not for the United States title. I mean, it works.
It does work.
And you win by disqualification. Rusev, and he advances. And John Cena, that's it. So,
Exactly.
it works.
Because if John Cena's in the tournament, he's going to win. But anyway.
Yes.
And number one.
Number one.
I almost gave it away a while ago. Talking about the whole promos backstage.
Yeah, that's all right.
Number one is unscripted promos, and finally, Triple H is letting them do that in NXT. But you let them do that kind of stuff in NXT, and then they go up and they get micromanaged on Raw and SmackDown.
It kills it.
They will be so confused by that it's going to mess them up completely.
I know.
That it's going to make them fall flat. Kind of like the Essential.
I got this. I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready to go out. Oh. Read this. Learn this real quickly before you go out there.
Right.
Well, I had it all. No, won't you say this? Can I just say these bullet points? Nope. Won't you say
word for word? Can't miss a word at all.
10 minutes, get your ass out there.
Right.
And then you're like an idiot, and then they go, well, he stunk. I don't know why we brought him up for. I'll fire him.
Right.
What? But yes, they need unscripted promos.
They do?
I mean,
it's not hard, people.
Yeah, bump it in. Okay, we got a pay-per-view coming up. Get that in there.
Right.
You're taking on this guy. Get that in there. But and you're on a time. So come on, you know your time. Let's go.
Right.
And get it done.
Get her done.
And when you get to this point, we're sending this guy out, and they're going to confront you, and you go a little more, and you're done for the segment.
Exactly.
Bam, bam, boom. So.
Because that's a lot of problems with the scripted promos, is that sometimes the cues get messed up, and then that's the only thing they have left is that last sentence. And they hit that last sentence, and the music doesn't start for somebody else to come out. And they're like, oh, where's the guy at? Where's the guy at?
I'll take on anybody. I don't care who they are in the back.
Crickets. Oh, we're supposed to hit the music. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, if you have people that can think on their feet, then once they realize, oh, the music's not playing, they keep on talking until you interrupt them with the music.
Right.
Nothing wrong with interrupting during music. It doesn't have to be like, right when you finish that sentence.
To be interrupted.
Exactly.
I'll take on.
Exactly, because if it's not interrupted, it makes it look like, oh, it's playing.
Might as well just point to the screen. Okay, hit the video and the music.
Exactly.
Well, I knew that. See, that's why I only did two, because I knew that was going to be a long one, because it hit home with us.
It did, because we've talked about this numerous times in the year that we have done the show.
Yes, but let's finish up with our top 10 of the 30 greatest WWE villains.
Yes, number 10.
Woo! A man who wouldn't have to worry about it. If it didn't hit right, he'd continue on.
Exactly. He is number 10, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Number 9, another one with a great mind for the business.
Trust me.
And a very good villain.
Trust me.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
How cool is that song?
Yes, I love Trust Me.
Number 8.
Another great
Advocate. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Heyman.
Number 7, The Game, Triple H.
Cerebral Assassin. Number 6, The Man. The greatest manager of all time.
Of all times.
And because he's the greatest manager of all time, it puts him in that top 10 villain spot.
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Number 5, the Macho Man, Randy. Oh, yeah, because when he was a villain, he was a great villain.
He was a great villain.
Randy Savage. He was a savage.
He was a savage. He got lust in your eyes. Number 4, Mr. Y2J, Mr. Was it the King of Rock and Roller?
Yeah, the Ayatollah.
The Ayatollah of Rock and Roller. Exactly, Mr. What's his best in the world at what I do.
Yes.
So he doesn't take away from CM Punk. Mr. Chris Jericho.
Number 3.
The host.
Host is tough enough, yeah.
Tough enough.
Number 4, not number 3. Number 3, number 3 may make an appearance on Tough Enough.
Yeah, you never know.
Everybody has a price for the $1 Million Man.
True.
Ted DiBiase.
True.
Wave them money in front of me, and I have a price.
Yes.
Trust me.
Number 2, the Man. Pretty much got all this on the map.
Yeah.
Took over from his daddy and said, "No, daddy, we ain't regional. Daddy, we is global."
And I'm taking him, and him. I'm going to crush this company, and that company, and that company, and that territory, that territory, that territory.
But those territories, those promoters, they took the money and they ran. So it's their own fault.
It is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number 2 greatest villain in the WWE is Mr. WWE himself.
The people who call this man a devil. Satan, if you will.
Exactly.
Should be number 1, but number 2 on the greatest
That's
villains.
why I said number 1 was going to be shocking, because number 2...
The way people talk about number 2...
could go as number 1.
he could go number 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, is he a real-life villain, if you will? If you ask the disgruntled employees, they would say he's a real-life villain.
Yes.
But ladies and gentlemen, I won't even say his name the way it is written on here, because when he's a villain in the WWE, he is known as Mr. McMahon.
That's right. See, it should be Mr. McMahon.
It should be Mr. McMahon. Vince McMahon is the owner of the WWE, not Mr. McMahon.
And number 1 on the list of the 30 greatest WWE villains of all time.
When you think you've got the answers, I change the questions.
The Hot Scott.
Exactly.
Rowdy. Roddy. Piper.
Number 1, I said it would be shocking.
It's
It's
shocking.
not. It's not so shocking that it's unbelievable.
No, he was a villain. When he was a villain, he was a villain.
He was a villain. He was a villain.
Yeah.
But when you think of the villains in that company, I could see where he would not end up being number 1.
No. But what we're going to do in part 4 next week in episode 58. Now we looked over the top 30 here. We had to say this one's a little high, that one's a little low, this one belongs here, that one belongs here. So next week in part 4, we are going to have our own top rope reality 10 greatest villains of all time. Not WWE, of all time.
That's true. In all of wrestling and in sports entertainment.
So will your number 1 villain make our list? Because there's a few I've seen in this top 30 who belong in our top 10.
That is very true.
So, but that is it for part 3
Part 3.
of episode 57. So tasty.
It's so tasty because it's has.
But in part 4. Yes.
Partly a fart. I don't know.
Part 4.
This guy makes you want to fart.
This guy? Oh, this guy.
That guy.
That guy.
Second guy.
Not the second guy?
Nope.
Number 2?
Not number 2. He makes you want to take a number 2.
We're on number 2 for the wrestlers who Hulk Hogan, brother, refused to lose against. We're also going to talk about 5 more of the 100 wrestling pay-per-views you must see before you die.
That's
with
true.
Key matches.
Key matches.
We've got a new segment going this week.
Oh, we got to talk about that.
Oh, well, that's coming up in a minute, yeah.
Oh.
We got a new segment. We're going to rank the 40 wrestlers from worst to best. And we're going to start off with number 40 down to 38.
Interesting.
It is interesting when you get them down to the nitty-gritty.
Yes.
Because number 1 is not who you think number 1 is.
Ooh.
Plus, we're going to announce the winner of the March Macho Madness tournament for the Intercontinental title, best champion in May.
In May. Started in April, now we're in May.
We were down to the Macho Man Randy Savage and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. And in part 4, we're going to shock the world and tell you who we picked as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Right here at Top Rope Reality
On the YouTube.
I'm Mike Hogan.
And I'm Justin Cass.
And we'll see you in part 4 in just a couple of clicks.
Yellow.